This is Keith Morris coming to you with another episode of Generational Gem. Today we have a special guest. This gentleman is just looking for an outlet, an opportunity to be able to tell a story, to be able to talk about the injustice in our system. And I'll just go ahead and tell the people who you are.
I'm John Haynes Jr., and I'm here to discuss my son John III situation with the criminal justice system, and hopefully I can get somebody to help me out, can help look into the situation.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So before we even get started talking about your son, just tell us a little bit about you, your background, where you from.
Well, I'm originally from Arthur, Mississippi. Came here in Davenport, as a young, kid. My mom, she went to Marycrest College. My daddy worked at Deere, retired from Deere. I got a CDL driver license. I started a janitorial service. Me and my brother here about 10 years ago. But we decided to do something else. And now, I work at the homeless shelter. Try to give something back to the Quad Cities. To everybody that in need. And I'm, got a lovely daughter, granddaughter, son. Got a nice young lady. What she do, right? But all of that is, I'm just laid back cat.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, let's just get right into it, man. So we have John Hanson III, who was wrongfully convicted at this point in time.
Yes.
Can you kind of just go ahead and kind of tell us the story and some of the details surrounding it?
Okay. Well, first it was a lot of, inconsistent stories. The witness that did testify said the county attorney and the police officer the one that told him to say this.
Okay.
And as for, like the DNA that they did on the vehicle came back to the three people that was in the vehicle, and my son was eliminated from any type of DNA, fingerprints or anything at that time. And I was just kind of lost at one time because the way the trial went, that did nothing really come back to him. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
No gun, no. All the witnesses already had a deal with the county attorney, and they had got up there even said that they told us to say this, and they still convicted my son on the charges that should have been a mistrial or charges dropped at that time. So, I mean, it was crazy, and the funniest part about it is that when Davenport Police Department had a video that couldn't nobody see anything but the trees. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
He's pointing out where here's the black car and this and that, and man, and I'm looking at the jury, and the jury is doing this, looking up, trying to figure out, what was on that video. You couldn't. Only thing you could see on that video was some trees. No sound, no anything. You know what I'm saying? It was just. I mean, it was like a soap opera, man. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. I mean, Iowa would lock you up for not doing a crime instead of locking you up for doing a crime.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I said, man, it was like I said, it was like a soap opera. I mean, it was 5 days of lies and no type of inconsistent or any type of evidence against my son. Nothing. And he was still found guilty. And and the only way I can figure it out, it had to be she had several friends. I knew they were friends of her because I was sitting right there where I could see the jury, and I was close to the everything, and I would see her saying things to the jury, what I'm saying, like trying to be slick with it, and then I would see the jury will go like this tour and stuff like that. I mean, that's kind of odd. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we dealing with a serious case here. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right.
Why is you sitting up here looking up in this lady's face and she's constantly looking at you guys? And you know what I'm saying? It was. I mean, it was strange, man. That was the first time I ever even went to a trial in my life, and this one was it was crazy, man. It was something that I would never want any black person, anybody, to go through a trial like that when you don't have nothing against them. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Nothing. It was nothing. I mean, I would be here talking to you, wasting your time if I felt that my son had something to do with it because the evidence came back that he didn't.
Right, right.
And the lawyer that he had, Mr. Bergerman, I think it was B. Bergerman, he did a hell of a job, man. And he brought it to him. I mean, he put them all on Front Street, and they still convicted my son. You know what I'm saying? It was something that I thought the case was one. I mean, I thought the case was going to be dismissed immediately, as soon as that forensic lady from Des Moines came down
Hmm.
and said, John Haynes, for the record, John Haynes is eliminated from any type of DNA, fingerprints, or anything. No gun involved. It's just pretty much people hearsay. You know what I'm saying? The ones that she gave the deal to, and I couldn't figure that out either, man.
So, out of the 4 people, 3 would be his co-defendant.
Yeah.
They all got deals.
And they got on the stand and said it. She the one that told me to say this, and yeah, she gave me a deal. Yeah.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, she's saying this is all under oath. You know what I'm saying? This reporter's doing all this.
Public record. Everything is
Yeah.
public record.
And the other guy, Cook, he got up there and said, "You told me to say this, and the cops told me to say this about this man. I don't know this man from the sun up, sun down." You know what I'm saying? This is actually what he's saying to her, and they still convicted him. And the bad part about it is that the police officer, with that video, man, that video was just, I mean, I still think about that video to this day because that's how stupid it was. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you present a case, a high profile case, if you're going to present a video, make sure you got the video that everybody can see something besides trees. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It just goes to show you how Iowa, and I mean, excuse me for saying this, how racist white people do black people. See, but black people need to realize that the only way that you're going to get something done is that you're going to have to put your foot down. You're going to have to suck it up and say, hey, this is not right. And if I got to do it by myself to make it right, that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
And it was not right. You know what I'm saying? If my son was, like I said, if I felt that he had anything to do with that situation, hey, he's on his own. But it was and then the time frame didn't add up. And then the guy that testified against him, the one that had the pistol, 30 minutes before the guy shot the other guy.
Mm-hmm.
And the lawyer pointed that out. And he's in jail right now in Rock Island County on a pistol case right now.
Mm.
So, you know what I'm saying?
But not the same pistol, or you don't know?
No, this was a different pistol. The pistol that they claimed that my son had used, they didn't have no pistol. There's no pistol found or nothing. It was just going by here.
So no evidence, period.
No, none.
Wow.
None. No pistol. Not. And they had another guy, this white guy, where the situation happened at.
Mm-hmm.
He testified and said the only person that was shooting was the guy in the back seat. He said it was only one guy in the front, and that was the driver. So that eliminated my son. But the other 3, like
because if it was got you. Because if it was, that mean it would have been 3 people in the back seat type of ordeal, but your son don't got no DNA, no proof, no evidence, no nothing.
Nothing.
Which eliminates him, and it shows that it's one driver, which would have been accurate.
And that's
then the 2 in the back.
Yep, it was 3 in the back. It was a girl and 2 other guys, Combs, Lakeisha, whatever name, and Bill Kirk. Them 3. And like the closing statements,
Mm-hmm.
the lawyer showed the picture of him with 2 pictures of him with the gun.
They killed the young man.
Yeah, 30 minutes before the boy got shot, killed.
So you sent all this evidence and they still found your son guilty?
Exactly. That's what I'm. Yeah, that's why I was talking to Big Tony. And Big Tony had told me, introduced me to you.
Yes, sir.
Yes, that's. I mean, and like I'm telling you, I would not waste anybody's time because I was there. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
And I don't. And make it so bad, they convicted my son less than 8 hours, man. After the case, you know what I'm saying? It took me 5 days to try to figure out everything.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? How you gonna go from 5 days of trial from 9 o'clock to 4:30 Monday through Friday, and you got 8 hours? He convicted. You know what I'm saying? It didn't make any sense. I mean, so for some reason, y'all did not evaluate the whole situation.
Now, was this lawyer a lawyer or a public defender?
He was a public defender, but that's one of the the baddest lawyers I ever met. That lawyer tore everybody up.
Yeah.
Everyone that was on that stand, he made them look bad.
And they still didn't get him off though?
Still didn't get him off, man. I've been trying to get in touch with him, but I'm gonna wait till the sentence because he got a sentence coming up next month.
Okay.
And like I said, I was at work and I was getting ready to get off work to go back to the courthouse. And then his auntie was down there and she had called us and said that they convicted him. I said, convict him on what? And that was it, man. And
So, go ahead. I'm sorry.
my son, and then he had called me later on. He said, Dad, he said the jury was crying. I said, yeah, I'm pretty sure they was crying because they was all connected with the county attorney and they knew that their case wasn't right. And that's why they was crying.
The moral compass came in.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it was crazy. I mean, I'm not saying that my son was no saint, but I know that my son didn't do this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because hey, it was ridiculous, man. And then Channel 4 News contacted me like 2 weeks ago, man. And she said she gonna meet me at the courthouse and want to do a story with it about what happened.
Mm-hmm.
And I told her, I said I'll be there because that's a sentence. But it was crazy, man. And I'm asking if anybody out there that want to take on a high profile case and it will be an easy case, get in touch with me or get in touch with Mr. Keith Lawrence.
Yes, sir.
Because at this
make
time,
it happen, man.
because this is no justice, and I'm not saying this just for my son. I'm saying this for all black people. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to see nobody go through no injustice in the hands of somebody that don't care about you anyway. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate the opportunity.
Man, it's a pleasure and a blessing because this allows, the news outlet and different things like that. They're gonna filter out and spin.
I already know.
This is really straight from the heart, straight, real, raw, uncut. We ain't rehearsed none of this. This is strictly you giving you. But it's crazy that you said Iowa, man. I got two people right now. My cousin Fonte Bueller in Dubuque, Iowa. He is facing life. And man, I went to a trial. It was the first trial I had ever been to.
Yeah, this is the first one I ever been to.
And like you said, to see the evidence clearly not be with this person, but clearly. So in his case, his girlfriend killed herself.
Oh, committed suicide.
She committed suicide. Stabbed the knife. It was like her left hand or something like that. Everything was congruent with her strong hand. They had put up where she had dealt with mental health and harming herself before, and it was because he wanted to leave her. They got into an argument. He was trying to leave her,
and she
killed herself.
She couldn't accept that.
And
wow,
he's been locked up for the last 5 to 7 years. Off
and
of that.
Something, the funny thing you said that because they said that she killed herself with her right hand. The forensic lady that was at the trial, she said that the guy was shot with a left hand. It was a left hand shooter. My son is a right hand. It was right hand. You know what I'm saying? Now you said something, so they can figure out how the person was died, or how the murder happened. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because she said it was a left hand shooter, and I'm saying, and then the cook guy admit that he was shooting the gun with his left hand. The one that said that told the county attorney and the police that y'all the one that told me to say this. And he told.
So he told on them on the stand, and still nothing happened.
Exactly. And he said that when he was shooting with his left hand and drive with his right hand. And the forensic lady or whatever y'all want to call her, she said it was a left hand shooter.
Yeah.
and my son's right-handed. Yeah,
So wouldn't have been no need for him to shoot with his left because he wouldn't have had no accuracy.
exactly. You understand what I'm saying? This how the trial went, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like I said, it's worse than a soul popper. I mean, I heard about Iowa. Hey, I'm a believer now. They will find whatever way they can to destroy a black person, because that's their MO. Innocent or not, you know what I'm saying? If he was guilty, hey man, you got to deal with him, son. You know, you got better educate yourself, get yourself together. But hey, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm no attorney, I'm no private investigator, but I do know I can understand the facts.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Facts. What they say? Facts don't lie.
No, it was nothing. No eyewitness, could nobody identify. Couldn't put my son nowhere but the people in the back seat. And the lawyer said in the end, he said, "Your killer is right, Bill Kirk." That's the closing statement.
Your lawyer.
No, yeah, my son lawyer said in the closing statements, he said Bill Kirk is the killer because he the one that had the gun 30 minutes before
The shootout.
the shootout, and his DNA and the other people's DNA in the car, but John's not.
So it's crazy, man, because I got a homeboy, man, my best friend, also in Iowa, doing time right now
On somebody, on something, a hearsay.
for his son getting shot.
Where his son getting shot, he doing time?
His son got shot,
Man, really?
and it's 5 bullet holes in his car, and they charging him when they saying that the shooters shot 5 times. So all of the bullet holes are from the shooters.
Yeah.
And his son got shot.
Wow.
But he doing the time.
See, that's Iowa. That's why, man. We need to bring light to this situation, man, because this is how they've been doing it for years, man, and ain't nobody standing up. You know what I'm saying? I'm 61 years old, bro, and my son he just turned 90. He's 19.
Yeah.
And I tell him, hey, ain't too much y'all can do to me, but but I'm gonna make sure my voice gonna be heard, because I'm not scared of y'all. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing y'all can do to me.
I got somebody also at the Channel 6 News. I'm going to see if they can run something that also help you get your story out there.
You know what I'm saying?
Well.
Because, man,
get these stories out there, man, because they need to be out there.
And like I said, I wouldn't waste none of y'all brothers' time, man. You know what I'm saying? If I felt that, the situation, I mean, I was there. And my daughter was there. I mean, and my daughter and guys said they even seen the county attorney talking to the juries.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy, man. If I can bring light to this situation, man, good Lord, let it happen, man. Because like I said, I'm speaking for all black people, man. You know what I'm saying? Not just my son. I don't never want to see nobody go through no injustice when don't nothing add up to nothing.
Facts.
Honestly, if this can open up some doors, and I would love to see him get investigated. I would love to see him bring a lot of them cases back. You know what I'm saying? Dig into them cases. Find out actually what really went down, because all Iowa, all they want to do is they want more convictions for their
conviction rate.
Then they want to run for Senate, run for governor, run for president or whatever. You know what I'm saying? That's their track record. They don't care who lives they destroy, because that's money, power for them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But what you reap, what you sow. What goes around comes around, and that's the honest truth, man. But I'm not gonna sit there and let y'all railroad my son when then
for y'all benefit.
Yeah, put you on a pedestal. And another thing, the guy from the Quad City Times, his name was Tom. Soon he was in the courthouse, and he said, "All you gotta do is just look around the courthouse." And I'm like, "What is this fool talking about?" To myself, you know what I'm saying? He said, "Look." So I look around, nothing but all white judges from back in 1817 all the way till today. So he was pretty much telling me,
yeah,
man,
it's against you from the start.
Exactly. That's what he pretty much. And the only thing I didn't like about him, he didn't write about the truth. He didn't write about what the witness said. With the police, the police didn't. Police made me say this, and the county attorney made me say this. Then the county attorney up there with a paper, man, going up to the witness and let them look at it for a minute. Oh, yeah. Then come back. I mean, I'm telling you, man, this was crazy, man. I was wondering why they didn't have the news, the actual like channel 6, 4, and 8,
Yeah.
because that was a high profile case, but they had the Quad City Times there, and I knew why, because that news people would have, hey, that would have just showed the truth. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you got to put it all together, man. They terrible over there, man. And God, I'm gonna fight for my son until the good Lord called me,
Yeah.
because I was there, and my family was there, his auntie, his grandfather, and we all seen it for them 5 days, and did not come back to Lil John. Nothing, not nothing, man.
So what would you like to tell your son while he's in there?
What I want to tell my son?
Tell your son.
Why he's in there?
Yeah.
I told him to educate himself.
Mm-hmm.
If the good Lord give you a second chance, man, I'm pretty sure He's gonna give you a second chance, because there's no way that appeal court gonna let it stand.
Yeah.
Educate yourself, son. Get out. Use all this experience that you got now, going through all this, turmoil, and better yourself, and share it. You know what I'm saying? Try to educate other people on injustice, and from just try to take all that negativity, and make it positive in the end. That's what I tell my son all the time. I said, keep your head up. I said, because you didn't do it. If you did it, you accept it like a man. And I just told him, it's a process. Everything's a process. You know what I'm saying?
So I guess my question would be, 4 people in a car, nothing points back to your son.
Exactly.
How did your son even get in this case?
He got in the case because he was the scapegoat for them fools. You understand what I'm saying? They figured, hey, we'll put John in it, even though he wasn't there. See, what they did, they all plotted against John.
Gotcha.
You understand what I'm saying? They all plotted against him, and they used John as the fall guy.
Gotcha.
And make it so bad. The time frame didn't even add up really, because on that day that situation happened, I had dropped my son off. I say about three something, man. Down by
3
Cork Hill.
p.m.?
Yeah, down by Cork Hill Park. Me and this my girl, I stopped at the bank. He said, Dad, I need some money. I said, I'm gonna give you $60. You get you something to eat, man. We ain't gotta be out here, too long. If you need a ride, give me a call.
Yeah.
And he had some sweatpants on. I started laughing. I said, where you going with your little small sweatpants? He said, I'm just going out to my buddies. We're gonna play a little ball, then I'm gonna come on back home. And man, next I know, the next day I get a phone call like 5 o'clock in the morning. They said Lil John and blah blah, Chris and them guys shot somebody. I said, huh? I said, John in the house sleep. I said, what time did this happen? And I explained that to the lawyer, and my daughter had talked to the girl that was in the car.
Yeah.
And she told my daughter a whole different story. You understand what I'm saying? Told her a whole different story. Something, and my son sent me all his transcripts. I still got all the transcripts from all the reports and what everybody said. I still got that to this day.
Yeah.
And but they didn't go off none of that. Because did nothing add up. See, they was getting chased by 2 cars.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you got 2 cars and everybody strapped up, and you got 1 car, well, ain't that kind of odd? You got a little bitty dog. Another way I'm gonna say it, you got a little bitty dog chasing 2 big Rockwallers.
Right.
What you think? I mean, you got 2 big Rockwallers and a small dog. I think the Rockwallers gonna turn around and end up chasing that little small dog.
Right.
So what they saying that my son and guys was chasing them, but the witness on the transcript that I got, the van and the other car was chasing my son and them guys. That's what's in the report.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I got every transcript that they typed out from the beginning to the end, but they didn't use none of that. You know what I'm saying?
That's
none of
crazy.
that. Yeah, it's wild, man. I like I said, I never thought that it would happen, but it happened, and I tell you what, I seen it with my own eyes. All them kept brothers I see on television and stuff saying they didn't do it.
Yeah. You started to believe they ain't do
They
it.
didn't do it. And I might be wrong for saying this, but my man Stanley Liggins, that's supposed to have killed that white girl. You know how many times that man fought for his life? 3 or 4 times he went through appeals and all that. Ain't nobody gonna fight that hard for their life if they didn't do that.
Right.
And you know what I'm saying? And me and my dad had discussed that one time. I said, man, that man is fighting his fight. I mean, this man is actually using every avenue that he can use to get justice. And I see why.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you know, it's a terrible thing, man. You know how they use us, you know, for they gain to
Political
power.
gain.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But they forget if it wasn't for us, y'all wouldn't have what you had because we worked 300 something years free labor for y'all, you know, to have all this wealth to pass it on to generation, and we out here struggling trying to make it. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand why they don't like us. If anything,
Should be the other way around,
yeah,
huh?
exactly. I mean, but you know, I get along with everybody. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? That's how I was raised. But right is right. You know what I'm saying? Wrong is wrong. But that's how it's a cold world. Like that's all I can say, man. It's cold.
That's my
You know,
saying.
that money and power is something else, boy. Hey, I'd rather have money and treat everybody with respect and do the right thing than have money and power and just and step on people, you know, and destroy their lives and you know just to you know get to the White House.
Facts. Facts.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just keeping it real, man. It's rough.
So, is there anything that you want to say to the victim in his family, the deceased in his family?
When I was talking to the reporter downtown, I told him, I said, I am so sorry to hear about that young man. You know, he was 14 years old. I mean, me being a parent, it tells should have been in school at 14 instead of in these streets. You know, because you know I know his parents. You know, I know the family. They real nice people, man. You know what I'm saying? I always got along with them. And like I told him, I said, hey, you know, I'm sorry to hear about your son. You know, in that situation. And but my son didn't have nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
From being actually here at this courtroom and seeing all the evidence and stuff, John didn't have nothing to do with it. You know, and you know, I feel sorry for what happened. You know what I'm saying? He was a young man. You know, he didn't get a chance to live his life. But sometimes they say you live by the sword, you die by the sword. But that's the parents doing. You know, if you got somebody that young, you gotta be in control. You know what I'm saying? You can't let the kid control you. You got to control the kid. You know, and I'm so sorry that that happened. But you know, we just got to live and learn. You know, when I came up, it was it was about these. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We threw these and went on home, got some peroxide band-aids, and then we ended up at the house party later on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I you know I'm sorry that you know it happened to him. I mean, it could have happened to anybody. It could have happened to my son. You know what I'm saying? He could have got hit with them bullets, but he wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? That's the problem. He was not there. And I just hope that from this situation, everybody learned that it ain't. You know, if you got a problem with somebody, just stay away from them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's how I was when I was coming up. You know, if I didn't like a cat and he didn't like me, and we was in the same spot, hey, what's
Stand on
up?
your
How you
side.
doing, brother? I speak to him as a woman, going about my business. You know what I'm saying? Let it go. You know what I'm saying? It's not like that now. You know, I wasn't no saint. I'm gonna keep it real. You know what I'm saying? I did my little, you know, little bullshit, but you know, I live and learn. But you know, I just hope that them brothers just put them guns down, man. Just go to the gym, man. Work out, play ball. You know, if you got a beef with somebody, man, like the old days where they used to rap it out, do the break dance and all that shit, call them out like that, man. Hey, everybody go home and have supper, right? Be with your family.
Toby, you got any questions, man?
How is your son dealing with this situation?
Well, right now, I mean, I can't read his mind, you know what I'm saying? But I can only, you know, when he called me, I can only, you know, just go, you know, go
Go
by
with
the
what he said.
conversation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He holding up, you know, he holding up good because he said, Dad, he said, I didn't do it. He said, I just gotta, you know, I just gotta deal with the situation, you know what I'm saying, right now. I just gotta go through the process, the appeal and all that. But, you know, it shouldn't even he shouldn't even go through this. You know what I'm saying? From like I said, from the beginning, did nothing add up to him. Everything added up to the people in the back seat. You know what I'm saying? It shouldn't have went that way. But that's like I said, getting back to, you know, non no type of justice. But he's doing pretty good. You know, I talked to him earlier. You know, he called me every morning when I'm at work, man. He called me 3 or 4 times. a day. You know, I always called me on yesterday, Father's Day. I said, hey, son, just keep your head up, man, no matter what, man. You know what I'm saying? I said, it's raining now, but the sunshine going to hit you one way or another one day. You know? He said, all right, Dad. He said, I love you. Happy Father's Day. I said, that's the best Father's Day I can have, just to hear, hear you, call me, and, tell me Happy Father's Day, and then my daughter, my grandbaby, you know what I'm saying? That's the best thing. I just lost my mother like 2 years ago. You know what I'm saying? So, it's kind of tough, right? Losing your mother, and then, and trying to take my son away from her. But I'll be goddamn, as long as I'm breathing, I'm going to fight all the way to the end. I'm going to keep it real.
Facts.
I'm going to fight all the way to the end, especially when what they say, no justice, no peace. I'm going to let this mouthpiece do what I got to do. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to use whatever avenue I can or whoever I can talk to, bring something to light, because, like I said, I'm not just speaking for my son. I'm speaking for all black people in the Quad Cities, in the state of Iowa, Illinois, you know what I'm saying, in this, region. I'm speaking for all, not just mine, because there's a lot of them that went through it, just a lot of them go through it, and their parents and this and that, they give up. I'm not giving up. You know what I'm saying? Because, like I said, I was there for 5 days, and I seen nothing that can change my mind that he was there. He had something to do with it. You know what I'm saying? And I just know for a fact that them white people, excuse me for saying this, they're dangerous.
Yeah.
They're dangerous. Honestly, man. And they do whatever they need to do to destroy a black person, to throw them in the penitentiary for the rest of their life for something they didn't do. Because a lot of them people don't know, a lot of them got stocks in them penitentiaries.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't know that. They throw them in the penitentiary so easy because they get money back. You know what I'm saying? You pay a guy, 12 cents a day, and they making billions a year off their labor. It's pretty much like slavery. You know what I'm saying? Because most of the penitentiary, you got in there, blacks, Mexicans. That's what you got. They're gonna charge us for all the serious crimes, and give us the most time out of every race on earth. And you got more color, you got more darker race than you got white race. So we're a threat to them. To be honest with you.
So you said population control.
Yeah. You got the Mexicans. They dark. Chinese dark. Arab dark. I know y'all watch the Olympics. Do you see all the? You got more black from different countries participating in that Olympics than you do. You know what I'm saying? It's any sport. You got all kinds of black people come from all countries I ain't never heard of.
Mm-hmm.
Dark. But to make a long story short, I just, my son, he gonna be all right, man. He's a fighter like his dad. You know what I'm saying? He's a gladiator. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna take the good, the bad, the ugly. But still gonna stand tall, walk tall, especially when you know you can do it.
Yeah.
And that's it, man. He gonna be all right. I appreciate you guys, giving me this opportunity, to tell my side of the story, man. Because like I said, I was out trying to reach out to a lot of people, man. I'm not saying nothing bad about the NWCP and none of that stuff here. But the only time they want to help somebody when they got the spotlight and this don't make sense, the dollars don't make sense. You know what I'm saying? That's my opinion. I didn't see how it goes. They should have came to me instead of me trying to reach out, but I didn't reach out to them. I got a friend. You guys, I don't know if you guys know a guy named, they call him Honey Boy, Dave Laurie.
Mm-mm.
Well, he's from Chicago. He got a radio station.
Okay.
He called me, and he said when I get time, he said I'm gonna call you. I'm gonna do a live, broadcast with you, because I want to address this, because he got a station. He said he got over 40,000 listeners up there.
That's what's up.
So what I'm saying, he said I heard about the situation. Matter of fact, he said he had some lawyers that was coming down from Chicago because that building that collapsed.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they was coming down to talk to some of the black people.
Yeah.
And he said they was already here, and he said he's gonna get back with me.
Try to get them to talk about you as well.
Yeah, exactly. Because it was no way in hell that building should collapse like that, man.
Mm-mm.
But yeah, man, it's
I'm a member of the NAACP, and we gonna
Are you?
yeah.
Well, hey, I'm not. I'm not, I'm not saying anything bad. I'm just
No,
saying.
you speaking facts, man,
I
and
mean,
at this point in time, hey, I'm crying out for help. I need help.
yeah,
You
and
know
you
what
know
I'm
what I'm saying.
saying?
And I
So
had, I had went to them before the case even started.
yeah.
You know, the, the,
Now
the,
the Rock Island or Davenport branch, because they two different
well,
branches.
it's a matter of fact, I think I got that number in my phone. I think it was a two something number. It's a 563 something number,
So probably
and
Davenport branch.
I got a recording.
Yeah.
I just left my name, and my phone number. Nobody ever called back. Nobody called back.
Well, you got my word. I would get with our president, Monty Ballard,
You know what I'm saying?
about your
I'm just
case to be able to see what we can do.
and the only thing I wanted to ask them, could y'all just look into the case? And we got over 40 people that was at the trial.
Yeah.
And what I'm telling y'all, they're gonna tell you the same thing.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We can't lie. And the only problem that I got is that they so low down over there in Scott County, man. Is that you think they put all the real shit in the transcripts?
Probably not.
See, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because that lady was going, but like I said, I take my hat off to my son's lawyer. He tore him up.
Now, do you feel like if you get a real lawyer that this case he would have been out already?
He had a real lawyer. That lawyer.
Well, like a paid for, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, well, yeah. But this lawyer, he was so tough because he said he used to work with Pierce out of Des Moines, a black attorney out of I don't know if you ever heard of a black attorney. Last name was Pierce or something out of Des Moines, Iowa. Dad called me in the back.
Yeah.
Before they right after they got through with picking the jury,
Mm-hmm.
they had one black on the jury, the rest white people.
Mm-hmm.
One black.
That was already against you anyway. So
One black, and the brother.
see if we can get
The
a new
brother
jury.
was going to sleep.
See if we can get a new jury in there for you.
Yeah, because they had one black, and the rest of them was older white people, and three of them was her friends because the way they was having the contact and smiling, and the way they was sitting up like this when she was turning around looking at them.
Yeah.
Now, it's a high profile case. Why is you all the way up here like this, looking at it like this after my son's lawyer discredited every witness they had? He discredited every last one of them, man. He had them leaving out there like a puppy dog with a tail stuck in their tail, man. I mean, the lawyer was cold. He did his thing. I'm not gonna lie. It was that white jury. They had picked the jury, and they picked everybody out of Bettendorf, Iowa. That all they do is watch the news, read the paper, and they already stereotypers anyway.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
And why is you crying when y'all convict my son? Why is y'all crying? Tell me, I mean, I ain't never seen no jurors crying because somebody put pressure on y'all and told y'all what to do.
Tell them what to do and say.
You go from 5 days to 8 hours, convict somebody, and when did nothing come to you? I mean, did nothing come back? And I'm just asking for help. You know what I'm saying? If the boy did it, he got to suffer the consequence, but he didn't do it. And like I said, I heard, I was going, I was hearing from the streets. You know what I'm saying? But when you go to a trial, everything got to be right.
By the book.
By the book. And it wasn't by the book. Especially when the witness then sit there and told him, y'all told me to say this. And the judge, he was no judge. Because the real judge would have said, hey, I'm going to dismiss this case right now because I'm tired of hearing this bullshit.
Yeah.
When this man didn't have no DNA. And then my son's lawyer made him say that twice. For the record, John Haynes' DNA was nowhere to be found. No pistol, no eyewitness. Just only the eyewitness is the people that was in the back seat.
That actually are evidence saying they were in the car.
All the evidence came back to them. Even the white guy, the witness said it. He said, all the shooting was coming from the back seat. He said, I only seen one guy in the front, and that guy was driving. You know what I'm saying? This is exactly what the white dude said, and this white dude said, and then the county attorney gonna say, oh, well, how do you know all this? He said, my house is right there. He pointed on the, because they had the little, street thing on there.
But I got a good view of what's going on.
Yeah. And guess what he said? He said, this ain't the first time people done rolled by here and started shooting. He said, I done came out walking my dog. I didn't find casings. He said, this is a common thing in this neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? And it was like I said, it was a soul popper, man. That's what it was, really. You know what I'm saying? I just, it took me a while to get over it. You know what I'm saying? But it's,
Yeah.
I still think about it. But I still got to live. You know what I'm saying? I still got to be strong because like I said, I thought it was over. I thought the man was coming home and could have packed him on up and sent him on up there to my sister up in Colorado somewhere, start over. You know what I'm saying? Because I told him, I said, if God let you go, man, you just got to
get out of here.
You got to get out because all they're gonna do is come at you, man. You ain't got to do nothing. And that meant one time my son told me he was on his bike. My son wanted a brand new dirt bike, man, at a fundraiser, right?
Mm-hmm.
He said him and his friend, he had his white friend. He said they were just riding the bike in the church parking lot now. My son had to be about 10 years old. And I know a 10-year-old ain't gonna just say this. He said a cop pulled up on him.
Mm-hmm.
He said, what you guys doing? He said, well, we just riding our bikes around here, blah, blah, this and that. And my son told me that the cop called him, said, get your nigger ass out of here. And you know something? I believe that. You know why I believe that? Because the cop called me and my cousin a nigger one time.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? He was 10 years old. He told me this. And I know he wasn't lying.
Yeah.
And that go to show you. You call him a 10-year-old that just ain't, you know what I'm saying, just got off the bottle and the Pampers trying to, figure out how to, play
Figuring it out.
basketball
Facts.
and learning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, that's what my son told me, man. And, and that kind of messed me up. And I said to myself, nah, a 10-year-old ain't going to just
He don't know what he's, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They ain't going to make that stuff up. He said, yeah, Dad, he called me a nigger, told me to get my nigger ass out of here. And I said, I believe you. He didn't say that to the white boy. They just ride a bike, in the parking lot. You just ride around on your brand new bike, you're happy. You ain't doing them going around circles, and you finna go home.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. that was that was weird, man. But it's the truth,
Well, Mr. John, man, I appreciate your time. Is there anything else you want to tell the people before we get out of here, man?
Yes, I do. If you believe in something, and you know it ain't right, don't sweep it under the rug. Talk about it, be about it, do something about it. That's all I got to say.
Yes, sir. Man, this is Keith Lawrence with another episode of Generational Gem. Today we spoke about the injustice in our system, the Iowa side. We're just asking that the viewers take time, man, to pray on this situation to help us. And Mr. John, we're going to get something done, man. I appreciate you, man.
Yeah, I appreciate you too, brother,
Yes,
for
sir.
the opportunity, man.
Yes, sir.
I really do, man. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Much love, y'all. We out.